You work hard, you hustle, maybe you even grind overtime. So why does your bank account still look the same every month? Here's the truth nobody wants to admit. You're probably trapped, not by laziness or bad luck, but by invisible financial traps designed to keep you broke. That minimum payment on your credit card, it's a slow bleed. Your car payment, a depreciating anchor. Those subscriptions you forgot about, death by 1,000 swipes. You're spending to feel better, upgrading your phone every year, and saying yes to family because you feel guilty. Meanwhile, rent devours what could have been your future wealth. Food delivery apps empty your wallet $3 at a time, and FOMO has you investing in things you don't understand. You're stuck in the paycheck-to-paycheck identity, convinced one income stream is enough, working overtime just to stay afloat. It's time to break free. Let's expose these traps, one by one. The credit card minimum payment trap. Meet Sarah. She has a $5,000 balance on her credit card with an 18% interest rate. Her minimum payment is just $100 per month, which seems manageable, right? Here's the trap. If Sarah only pays the minimum, it will take her over 7 years to clear that debt, and she'll pay nearly $3,400 in interest alone. That $5,000 purchase actually costs her $8,400. Credit card companies love minimum payments because they keep you in debt longer. That small monthly amount feels affordable, but most of it goes toward interest, not your actual balance. You're essentially running on a financial treadmill, barely making progress. Let's say Sarah decides to pay $200 instead. Now she's debt-free in just 2.5 years and saves over $2,000 in interest. That's the power of paying more than the minimum. The minimum payment trap is designed to keep money flowing from your pocket to the credit card company. It feels like relief, but it's a slow financial bleed. The solution? Always pay more than the minimum. Even an extra $50 monthly makes a massive difference. Treat your credit card debt like the emergency it is, not a comfortable monthly bill. Your future self will thank you. The car payment trap. You're making $50,000 a year and just bought a $35,000 SUV with a $600 monthly payment. Sounds reasonable, right? Wrong. Here's the trap. That payment never ends. You finish paying off your car after 6 years, but by then it's worth maybe $12,000. So what do most people do? They trade it in and start another $600 payment on a newer model. Meet Sarah. She's been paying $550 a month on cars for 15 years. That's $99,000 gone. Not building wealth, just feeding the cycle. If she'd bought a reliable $8,000 used car and invested that $550 monthly instead, she'd have over $180,000 today. The average American car payment is now $739 a month. That's $8,868 a year, going to depreciation and interest. Meanwhile, a quality used vehicle for $10,000 cash will serve you just as well. Here's the truth. Your car should get you from point A to point B, not trap you in endless debt. Break the cycle. Buy what you can afford with cash or a minimal loan. Invest the difference. Your future self will thank you when you're building wealth instead of building someone else's profit margin. Subscription creep. Check your bank statement right now. How many subscriptions are you paying for? Netflix, Spotify, gym membership, Amazon Prime, iCloud storage, Disney Plus, meal kit delivery, that meditation app you use twice. They're small charges. $9.99 here, $14.99 there. Harmless, right? Wrong. This is subscription creep, and it's silently draining your wealth. Meet James. He thought he was being frugal until he actually counted. Netflix $15, Spotify $11, Gym $45, Adobe Creative Cloud $55, Xbox Game Pass $17, Hulu $18, HelloFresh $120, and 6 others he barely remembered. Total? $387 monthly. That's $4,644 a year. Here's what's insidious. Companies bet you won't notice. They auto-renew, they hide in your statements, and they count on your forgetfulness. That gym membership you haven't used in 8 months, still charging you. The average American now spends over $200 monthly on subscriptions, most for services they rarely use. Do this today. List every subscription. Cancel what you don't actively use. Keep only what genuinely adds value. That $300 monthly, invested over 20 years at 8% return, becomes $177,000. Stop letting subscription creep steal your financial freedom. Small leaks sink big ships. Rent is eating your future wealth. You're paying $1,800 a month in rent. It feels manageable, no maintenance, no commitment, but here's the brutal truth. In 30 years, you'll have paid $648,000 and own absolutely nothing. Meet Lisa. She's been renting for 10 years at $1,500 monthly. That's $180,000 gone forever. Her friend Marcus bought a modest home with a $1,600 mortgage payment 10 years ago. Today, Marcus owns $120,000 in equity, and his home value increased $80,000. Lisa, still starting from zero. Here's what landlords know that you don't. Your rent payment builds their wealth, not yours. Every dollar you pay helps them own more property while you remain trapped in the cycle. But I can't afford a down payment, you say. With today's FHA loans, you need just 3.5% down. On a $250,000 home, that's $8,750, less than 6 months of that $1,800 rent. Yes, homeownership has costs, but even after maintenance and taxes, you're building equity with every payment instead of enriching someone else. Stop trading your future wealth for temporary convenience. Your rent isn't buying you freedom, it's buying your landlord's retirement. Start building equity today. Retail therapy, spending to feel better. Have you ever had a terrible day and thought, I deserve a little shopping spree? You're not alone. Retail therapy is the act of shopping to improve your mood or cope with stress. When we buy something new, our brain releases dopamine, a feel-good chemical that creates temporary happiness. It's like a quick emotional band-aid. But here's the catch. The rush doesn't last. Studies show that 40% of people who engage in retail therapy feel guilty afterward, especially when credit card bills arrive. What starts as a mood booster can spiral into financial stress and buyer's remorse. Take Sarah, a marketing professional from New York. After a stressful work week, she'd browse online stores late at night. One blouse turned into 5, one pair of shoes became 3. By month's end, she'd spent $800 on items she barely wore. The temporary high left her with lasting anxiety about her finances. The solution? Recognize your triggers. When stress hits, try healthier alternatives, like exercise, calling a friend, or journaling. If you must shop, set a strict budget or wait 24 hours before purchase them. Remember, true happiness doesn't come with a price tag. Your emotional well-being is worth more than any shopping cart total. Fear of missing out. FOMO. Investing. Everyone's making money on this stock. I need to get in now. Sound familiar? That's FOMO investing, and it's one of the fastest ways to lose money. FOMO, fear of missing out, happens when you see others profiting from an investment and panic buy without research. Your brain screams, I'm being left behind, so you invest emotionally, not logically. The problem? You're usually buying at the peak, right before the crash. In 2021, GameStop stock exploded from $20 to $483 in weeks. Social media buzzed with stories of instant millionaires. Thousands of investors jumped in at $300, $400, driven purely by FOMO. Within days, the stock plummeted to $40. Those late arrivals lost their savings while early investors had already cashed out. The same pattern repeated with cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and meme stocks. The crowd gets in late, and the smart money gets out early. Here's the antidote. Stick to your investment plan. Do your own research. Ask yourself, do I understand this investment, or am I just chasing hype? Remember, Warren Buffett's advice: be fearful when others are greedy. The best opportunities aren't the loudest ones on social media. They're the ones you discover through patience and due diligence. Don't let FOMO cost you your financial future. The paycheck-to-paycheck identity trap. I'll always be broke. That's just how it is for people like me. This mindset is more dangerous than any debt. It's called the paycheck-to-paycheck identity trap, and it keeps millions stuck in financial struggle. When living paycheck to paycheck becomes your identity, you stop believing change is possible. You think, I'm not good with money, or rich people are just lucky. These beliefs become self-fulfilling prophecies. You don't budget because what's the point? You don't save because there's nothing left anyway. Meet James, a delivery driver from Chicago earning $45,000 yearly. For years, he believed he was destined to struggle. Then his car broke down, costing $1,200 he didn't have. That crisis became his wake-up call. He started tracking expenses and discovered he spent $300 monthly on takeout and unused subscriptions. Within 6 months, he built a $2,000 emergency fund, something he once thought impossible. The trap isn't your income, it's your identity. When you see yourself as bad with money, you won't take the small steps that lead to big changes. Start today. Track 1 week of spending, cut one unnecessary expense, save just $10. Prove to yourself that change is possible. You're not destined to struggle. You're capable of building wealth, one decision at a time. Food delivery apps draining your bank account. That $12 burger just cost you $25. Welcome to the hidden trap of food delivery apps. Let's break down a real order from DoorDash. You're craving a burrito from Chipotle. The menu shows $10.50. Seems reasonable, right? But watch what happens at checkout. First comes the delivery fee, $3.99. Then a service fee, $2.50. Suddenly, you're at $16.99. You tip your driver 20%, add another $3.40. Now you're at $20.39. And if it's raining or dinner rush, that high demand surge adds $2 to $4 more. Your $10.50 burrito just became a $23 meal. That's a 119% markup. Here's the shocking math. If you order delivery 3 times a week, those fees add up to roughly $1,800 per year. That's a vacation, an emergency fund, or 2 months of groceries. The apps count on convenience overriding your judgment. They've designed every step to make adding fees feel normal. The solution? Pick up your food when possible, batch orders with friends to split fees, or cook twice weekly and save thousands annually. Your bank account will thank you. That burrito tastes the same whether you paid $10 or $23, but your wallet knows the difference. The upgrade culture trap. We've been programmed to believe last year's phone is obsolete, but is it really? Meet Sarah. Every September, she camps outside the Apple Store for the latest iPhone. Last year's model? Perfectly functional. But the new one has a slightly better camera and a different shade of blue. Cost? $1,200. Her old phone's trade-in value? $300. Here's the math nobody talks about. If Sarah kept her phone for 4 years instead of upgrading annually, she'd save over $3,000. That's a vacation. That's an emergency fund. Tech companies have mastered the art of manufactured desire. They've convinced us that a 5% performance boost equals a life-changing experience. Meanwhile, your 2-year-old phone can still do everything. Stream, browse, photograph your coffee. The smartphone in your pocket right now has more computing power than NASA used to land on the moon. Yet we're told it's outdated because it doesn't have a slightly rounder edge. The real upgrade? Breaking free from the cycle. Use your phone until it actually stops working. Invest that money in experiences, not incremental hardware improvements. Your wallet and the planet drowning in e-waste will thank you. Depending on one income stream only, imagine building your entire life on a single pillar. One earthquake and everything collapses. Meet David, a senior marketing manager at a tech startup. Solid salary, great benefits, comfortable life. Then came the 2023 layoff wave. One email and his only income vanished overnight. No backup plan, no safety net. Here's the brutal truth. Your employer doesn't owe you security. The average person will have 12 different jobs in their lifetime. Companies downsize, industries evolve. Relying solely on one paycheck is a gamble you can't afford to take. Now contrast this with Lisa. She works full-time as a teacher, but also freelances as a content writer on weekends and rents out a spare room on Airbnb. When budget cuts threatened her teaching position, she didn't panic. Her side income covered her essentials while she explored options. Multiple income streams aren't about greed, they're about survival. Start small. Freelance your existing skills, invest in dividend stocks, create digital products, monetize a hobby. Your 9-to-5 might feel secure today, but corporations are loyal to profits, not people. Diversify your income like you diversify investments, because when one stream dries up, you'll need others to keep flowing. The overtime trap. Working more, still broke. More hours doesn't equal more wealth. It equals more exhaustion. Meet James, a warehouse worker pulling 60-hour weeks. He's chasing overtime pay, sacrificing sleep, family dinners, and his health. The extra money? Gone before he realizes. Higher tax brackets eat a chunk. Takeout meals replace home cooking because he's too tired. And medical bills pile up from stress-related issues. Here's the paradox. Working overtime often costs more than it pays. That extra $500, you lose $150 to taxes, $100 on convenience food, $80 on energy drinks and quick fixes. You're trading your life for diminishing returns. Meanwhile, Sarah works 40 hours but spent her evenings building a freelance graphic design portfolio. 6 months later, she's earning an extra $1,000 monthly without selling more of her time. The system tricks you into thinking hours equal value. But wealthy people don't trade time for money. They create systems that generate income while they sleep. Stop glorifying burnout. Your body isn't a machine, and overtime isn't a strategy. It's a trap. Work smarter, not longer. Invest time in skills that multiply your income, not just add to it. Your future self is begging you to stop now. Family expectations that hurt your finances. Love shouldn't come with a price tag, but for many, it does. Meet Priya, a 28-year-old accountant earning a decent salary. Every month, her parents expect her to fund family gatherings, pay her younger brother's tuition, and contribute to relatives' weddings. She can't say no. It's family duty. Meanwhile, her savings account sits at zero, and she's drowning in credit card debt to maintain appearances. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Family guilt is expensive. When you're funding everyone else's dreams, you're sacrificing your own financial future. No emergency fund. No retirement savings. No down payment for a home. Now consider Marcus. He loves his family, but set boundaries. He contributes what he can afford, not what's expected. He politely declined funding his cousin's luxury wedding and instead invested in his own future. Some relatives called him selfish. His growing investment portfolio says otherwise. Supporting family isn't wrong, but destroying your financial stability for it is. You can't pour from an empty cup. Set clear boundaries. Say no without guilt. Help when you're stable, not struggling. Because the same family expecting money today won't pay your bills when you're broke tomorrow. Secure your oxygen mask first. You've just seen 12 financial traps that keep millions broke. The credit card minimums bleeding you dry. The car payments that never end. The subscriptions you forgot existed. The rent stealing your future wealth. But here's what matters. Awareness is your first weapon. Now that you see these traps, you can't unsee them. That $600 car payment? It's a choice, not a requirement. That daily food delivery? It's convenience costing you thousands. Those family expectations? You can love people without bankrupting yourself. Freedom starts with one decision. Cancel one subscription today. Pay extra on one debt. Say no to one upgrade. Small actions compound into life-changing results. This is your wake-up call. Your financial future isn't determined by your past. It's determined by what you do next. If this video opened your eyes, subscribe to Luke Finance for more financial breakdowns. I'm exposing the systems designed to keep you trapped, one video at a time. Join thousands who've chosen financial freedom over financial slavery. Your breakthrough starts now.